Off the top, he said, she said, 3 topics, 2 minutes each. Anything goes. There are no taboos. Now, do you think the death penalty is taboo? 34 states have it. Currently, there are 725 California inmates on death row. The state has not carried out an execution since 2006 due to court rulings that the procedure California uses is inhumane. A measure to abolish capital punishment is qualified for the November ballot. Backers say if it passes, there will be $100 million in savings. The former warden at San Quentin says the system is broken, expensive, and will carry the grave risk of mistake. Former U.S. Attorney Scott McGregor said, "We are disappointed that the ACLU and their allies would seek to score political points in their continued efforts to override the will of the people." Our contributors, Doctor of Social Ethics Charlotte Laws and Emmy Award-winning journalist David Reese. Our pictures are furnished by Skype. Charlotte, I'm going to start with you. It'll be on the ballot. And how do you vote?
I support this ballot measure. I am against capital punishment. Many studies have shown it's not a deterrent to crime, and we have spent a fortune in this state. It's $4 billion over the past 30 years executing 13 people. And we have more people on death row in California than any other state has.
Let me jump in, Charlotte, and ask you a quick question. If the courts had not ruled the procedure inhumane, would you feel differently?
I'm against the death penalty, period.
All right.
But the only thing I don't like about this ballot measure is the fact that I like the fact that we're saving $100 million in the next 3 years, but I don't like the fact that they're talking about instituting other programs. In other words, rather than saying, hey, let's save the taxpayers some money, let's pay down deficits, let's get our state fiscally healthy, they're saying, oh, let's use this money and put in other programs. And I don't support that. I don't know why politicians feel they always have to spend money. That's the only thing I don't like, but I will still support this.
David, what do you think about this?
I actually agree with Charlotte, and this to me has nothing to do with taboo or my feelings about whether or not, the death penalty is humane or not. It's completely a fiscal issue. It costs us boatloads of money to execute people, and personally, I just don't think it's worth it. I mean, a capital case costs, 4 or 5 times what a normal criminal case would cost, and it's just not worth it to the taxpayers. I mean, we've already been victimized by this criminal, and now we're letting them victimize us again by going through these endless appeal processes.
David, let me ask you a quick question. And thankfully, you have not faced this, and I hope you never have to. But if you lost a loved one, and it was a case of murder, would you, in your opinion, feel the same way about this?
I would, because here's the thing. I actually, honestly, if I were in that position, I'd want him to rot in jail. Because to me, it's an easy way out. Good night, you're gone, goodbye. To me, sitting in jail for 70 years, that's punishment. So I do think I would feel the same way. I just think it's a common sense issue. It's about money, and eye for an eye is ridiculous.
All right, well, you both agree on that. Let's see how you feel about this. Put yourself in the position of a police officer. You encounter someone who pulls a gun or an item that looks like a gun. Your life is in danger. You shoot, only to find out later the suspect was holding a toy gun. Los Angeles would like to make it easier for their officers to avoid that type of situation. State law already regulates the sale of BB guns. Los Angeles wants to carry it one step further and wants the right to regulate the sale of any toy gun that bears a resemblance to a real one. It wouldn't stop there. The county wants the right to make possession of a BB gun or any replica firearm illegal. Should the county of Los Angeles have this right? And if so, is it necessary to ban all toy guns, David?
Oh, hell no. This is so ridiculous, it just cracks me up. I mean, first of all, let's remember the freeway chase when we had that guy on the freeway in the 101 a couple weeks ago, and the police thought he had a gun, and he got out of the car and was dancing around, and he had something in his hands, and they shot him. He didn't have a gun, he had a cell phone. But the point is the cops thought he had a gun. Don't point anything at law enforcement.
That's right.
Because they're going to shoot you. It's not the gun's fault. It's your fault because you're felony stupid. So don't outlaw toy guns. If someone wants to have a toy gun, let them have a toy gun. But don't point it at the popo.
So what you're saying is it's not a matter of the gun. It's a matter of just don't point anything. You point anything, you're asking for it is what you're saying.
Exactly. It's felony stupid to point anything at law enforcement because if they fear for their lives, they're going to shoot first and ask questions later. Doesn't matter if it's a plastic gun or a cell phone.
Now, Charlotte, what do you think? Should they ban all toy guns?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think this is really ridiculous. It's actually kind of ironic because you're talking about real guns being legal and toy guns not. That's like banning sugar and saying cocaine should be legal. And I can see an attorney standing in court saying, if only my client had had a real gun, he wouldn't be standing here today. I mean, it's just so odd. I don't think this law is going to do anything because cops are still going to be confused. You know, you have gang members and criminals that paint the orange tip on the guns now. You have all sorts of colored real guns that are on the market. You have pink guns for women, red, white, and blue guns. There are little kits where you can paint your real gun, or you can hire a company to do it for $200 and make any pattern, etc. And when a cop sees an individual, an 8-year-old kid with a gun, even if they were banned, the cop still has to make a decision like, is this real, is this not? Whether it's a gang member or whoever it is, you're still going to make a situation ethics type decision, a utilitarian calculation. You know, is this real? Is this not? So I don't think it's going to do anything. I think that this law also is a bit confusing. I mean, there are all sorts of gun laws that are whizzing around Sacramento right now, and that shows the power of the NRA. It shows that it's very hard to change the regulations, and you have to do it in nuances, and this is just for LA County, and this is just for this or that.
But
it's
Charlotte,
confusing. It's ridiculous.
At the very beginning, you made the perfect point. I just love this, and I've never heard anyone say this, and it's so true. We want to outlaw fake guns, but allow real ones to be
I know.
legal. It's so ridiculous.
All right. So you guys are 2 for 2. You've agreed on both of them so far.
We're doing pretty well tonight.
But it's early.
Charlotte, let's go for 3.
What do you think about this? In case you were unaware, the Lieutenant Governor of California is Gavin Newsom. And if you don't know who Gavin Newsom is, you can catch him on his new show on Current TV starting in a couple of weeks. Yeah, Gavin Newsom, elected by the people and paid by the state. California's second in command has time to stop serving the people and instead serve up his own brand of television. According to Current TV, this should not distract from Newsom's political duties since he'll be interviewing people he already knows. Doesn't matter if I'm talking to people I already know, it still takes time, and he's doing it on the state's dime. Newsom is entitled to do whatever he wants, but should he be hosting a weekly TV show while in office, Charlotte?
He absolutely should. I totally support this. I think this helps with public awareness of issues and getting involved in politics and participation in government. And, you know, I've been on a local council for 4 terms now, for 8 years.
How much have you been paid while being on that local council?
I've been paid 0, but
okay.
And I was on I was also a city commissioner for 2 years. But I went to a seminar.
And how much were you paid as a city commissioner?
I was paid 0.
Okay.
I understand that. But I went to a seminar, and it was like how to get elected, you know, what you should do or shouldn't do. And what they said is you never put your opinion out there. You never do a TV show. You never go in the filter. You never write an article because you want to be like, you don't want to be controversial. You want everybody to like you and everybody to vote for you and to give you money. And that's what we have is a bunch of politicians without opinions. And so I think it's great if they can get out there, they can say their opinion, they can have the Twitter feed and the Facebook going and communicate with the...
See, all right, we went awry, didn't we? You hit the first 2, and now we're here. We're taking whiffs. Charlotte, the taxpayers are paying Gavin Newsom to do a job. He is being compensated by you, David, and myself. I don't want Gavin Newsom moonlighting and making money on the side, hosting his own TV show. Well, but that's me.
Fred, I have breaking news.
He's giving the money to charity, Fred.
It doesn't matter.
I have breaking news for both of you. Do you know what the lieutenant governor does?
Yeah, he sits around.
Nothing. He doesn't do anything. That's why he has time to do a show like this. That is such a waste of a job. It is the governor in waiting. It's totally ceremonial. We are paying him to be fabulous, to be the lieutenant governor. Let him do a TV show. Who cares? Because seriously, he has nothing else to do.
Then he
and I
shouldn't,
actually do agree with Charlotte.
Wait, if he has nothing else to do, I get that, then he shouldn't be paid. That should be a ceremonial job.
You know, Fred, he had a radio show, a once-a-week radio show when he was the mayor of San Francisco. And the president, you know, ever since Reagan, every president has had a weekly radio show.
I understand that.
It's not a big deal.
Well, you know, I would beg to differ.
With Charlotte about the fact that it is good for us to hear from our politicians.
Yeah.
But I disagree with what Charlotte said. Charlotte said we have a bunch of politicians without opinions. Oh, no, Charlotte. They have opinions. They just don't want us to know what they are.
They don't want us to know what they are. I agree with you. I agree.
Well, you finished off agreeing once again. Well done. Charlotte and David.
What can we say?
Good talking to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.